What's up, guys and gals? Welcome to Extreme Nerd Table, guys. I have Lady Fantastic with me. So, I have Lady Fantastic with me. I have, you guys already know I'm gonna show those vampies off again, so be prepared. Hey,
Hey, how's it going? Showing
lady.
Nikki live.
Yeah. Well, I'll show something that's not vampy just yet, so to ease them in, you know.
Ease them in, ease them in.
Ease it,
Hey,
yeah.
did you check the year of the Conan? You should
The
check.
cool.
You should
Yeah, yeah,
bust open that Conan
yeah.
magazine and check the year on it.
I'll check it. And Vigilante's in the chat. Well, if Vigilante's in anywhere near the house or anywhere, anywhere near his computer, I sent him an invite. So if he wants to hop in, it's more than welcome. So if he wants to, that's up to you.
Live on the edge,
Yeah,
boy. Come on,
yeah,
grab life
because
by the gonads.
I'm showing some stuff that I picked up this week. Frank Frazetta, Death Dealer.
Well, so what's that one about?
It is about the painting he's done. You remember the painting where it has the guy sitting on a horse that Frazetta done before in the previous, like where's it actually? Yeah, if you see it, it's an iconic photo. If you
I know
see
what
that
you're
thing,
talking about.
yeah. So this is just he came up with a painting, and then so many people liked it. So they had people come up with a story for it.
Okay, he said it's 2 a.m. and his girlfriend sleeps, so
No,
it's like,
I
hey,
know,
I
I
got
know, I know. I just sent you invite just because, okay? Just because we're brothers, so I thought
He's
you.
just trying to be
I,
respectful.
yeah, that's cool. We don't need you guys to get in the fight, so that's okay. Yep, I showed that, and then Thurston actually got in Vigilante. The first appearance of both of these guys, Evil Ernie and Lady Death, German edition.
Very cool. I didn't
Very
even
cool.
realize that German editions of Evil Ernie were made.
Yeah, I didn't either. When he said, "Oh man," and I'm like, "Oh gee," and then I was curious, so I put my gloves on. Said anything over $200 or more, I put my gloves on.
Evil Ernie.
Yeah, so I put my gloves on and looked in this and looked in the German version. So it's pretty much it's the same exact thing. It's just it takes more words to talk about whatever it is in here because if you compare the sizes, the size difference is way different.
Oh yeah,
This is almost trade size.
got it.
Yeah.
Just because the dialogue, yeah.
Yeah. So it was funny. I'm like, dude, this is paper thin. Like if I show you, it's like probably about like that much paper in it.
So I heard like that basically English is the merging of Latin nouns with German sentence structure.
What?
So I'm not sure if that Varangian can attest to that or not,
Probably.
because yeah, I took Latin and I know English, but I do not know German, which would
See,
be way more
the yeah,
practical. But I'm not.
Thurston saying this is like the cover two of Eva Ernie because cover two is when she makes her cover appearance. Issue two of that if this run is when she makes her cover appearance. The
Yeah.
German edition, she actually makes an appearance in the beginning, first cover. Because if I show you issue two of it, this is issue two of ours
Good point,
of
Varangian.
of English run. See, we don't just talk comics; we talk about a little bit of everything. So, yep. So this is issue two, and this was a OK from Thorough, pretty much last year, Christmas of last year. Yeah, this is an expensive book too. So I was surprised to even get it. I saw it in the mail. I'm like, whoa!
Um,
Just like Vigilante's one.
Varangian, tell me your opinion of Norwegians. They have
Oh,
some weird stuff about them. They're
Nor
quirky Norwegians.
isn't
Tell me.
isn't Sanimation Norwegian? I don't
No,
remember.
she's Dutch. She's from the
Uh,
Netherlands.
okay.
Uh,
I always get Dutch and
a,
the mixed
a
up.
Nederlander. I don't know if that's
We got
true.
Rob Worst.
I heard there were some evil geniuses in the house.
Yeah, a couple of us.
What's up?
Not much. Just got back from walking the dog.
Nice.
Such a good dog that likes keeping me awake all night.
I
Well,
was showing you go ahead.
yeah,
Oh,
since Rob's here, I'll show you the Eva Ernie German edition, first appearance.
Nice. I have never
Yeah.
seen that. Is that a completely new cover?
Yeah, it's a completely new because I'll show you the English cover here. Give me a
I'm
second.
familiar with their original Eternity cover, but I'm not familiar with that cover.
Yeah, I'll show you now. So this is the English cover, and this is the German cover.
Nice.
So at least she's on the cover. At least the German one, she appears, but at least she's on the cover.
Yeah, and the first issue, is Lady Death even in it, or does she start from issue 2?
No, she's in the issue 1. She
Huh.
makes an appearance like right in the middle of the story. Like she makes it, and then you can actually see her more clearly in this one. This one, it's a little.
I would love to reread that again. I haven't read that story in almost 30 years.
Wow. Yeah, and I didn't know it was in black and white. I finally looked at it. I'm like, oh, I forgot this thing was in black and white.
You know, back in the day in the 90s, I always thought, like me being an inker, I always thought that books that were in black and white were more for the real artists, and anything with color just meant, well, we're trying to mass produce it for the masses.
Right.
For the artists, that's black and white. So I always thought, like, Walking Dead, this is some artistic shit.
Right. Oh, and then the second German edition that he got me. Yeah, and the picture doesn't do it justice. The video doesn't do it justice. You have to see this thing in person, but it's just like holofoil. But yeah, it's a little. His face is a little weird, and his arms are a little weird. They almost look cloth-like, but they're for us, But it's a holofoil though. It's pretty cool.
I think the secret back in the day was if you draw a hot woman, hey, great. But if you're a little off on the modeling on drawing a man, well, you can draw a zombie because at least it's falling apart anyway.
Right. But what the funny thing about Eva Ernie was that I've watched this interview with the Women of Comics, and Paulito's wife actually was on it and was talking about like how the idea of Eva Ernie even what came to comics in the first place. He actually wrote it as a script, as a movie. Because he was a movie guy. He was a horror writer for horror. Like, he wanted to make a horror movie pretty much. It didn't. I guess everybody kept trying to change it. Everybody tried to change the character. So they sent it. So he did comics instead.
Sorry, I'm sitting here talking history.
Yeah, you're good.
College and history, and I don't know.
Yeah, I'm reading that at the same time I'm listening to Jeff.
I was doing the same thing. You're not the only one. I was reading and talking and looking at the camera.
One is comics and one is like super dense science and history. So it's two parts of the brain being challenged at the same time.
Yeah. I was showing Jeff this in the backstage, but
come on.
Here's the first OG Corona.
The real Corona.
Who or what is Corona? This bitch.
Yeah, that gave everybody Corona in the comic.
Yep. Everybody's forced to wear masks, and they all die because of it.
Do you think it's a missed opportunity that they're not using Corona in the comics right now, or do you think it's kind of like after 9/11 too soon, guys?
Yeah, this is campy as hell.
I think what Rob says is too soon thing, and people, you know how sensitive people get now. So all it takes is us coming out with it.
He is like sick in the hospital right there.
That's cool. Oh yeah.
So was Mary Jane Corona?
She gets it. No, I don't know.
She gets it.
I've never read it. That'd be hilarious.
What is Corona? Find out in 2020.
Yeah. the hot dumpster fire that's 2020.
I found it, VV. I found it for I think $2.25.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
And then
So-
this is right here, Evil Ernie. This one is a underrated first appearance too.
I found Miracle Man, the guy on our show, in a
Uh-huh.
25-cent bin. The Evil Ernie Goes to Hollywood, signed by Brian Polito. No,
That's nice.
yeah.
Well, you
So-
found some in your dollar boxes too.
Huh?
When you were doing hunts yourself at some of those stores that you go to, you found a couple of those there, didn't you?
I in my LCS, in just the back bins, I found like signatures and remarked stuff. Like I found a
Cool.
Bernie Wrightson signature. I found the what's the guy, the Manipool, and
That's just cool to find all that stuff in a 50-cent bin in general.
well,
like-
so I found SIGs in 50-cent bins. Like I found the Alan Grant signature of Lobo 1.
Right.
And I found Tom Keek signatures on the recent DC Omega Men.
And-
Well, what about the Sinkowitz you got? Was that an A-OK, or did you find that?
That was an AOK from Unruly Simeon.
Nice.
And that like has
Nice.
like a COA and everything.
nice.
But see, like I saw it, and it was the remark with the antagonist on it, and like I know how much. So here's a little. I'm gonna give some stuff away about Unruly, even though he likes people to keep it mum. He's got a thing for Elektra. He's got. I'm just gonna say it, throwing it out there. He's got a thing.
He's
for
he's not the only one because
Yeah.
the chick from what is it from why can't get those gains guys the
Comic
quiet
Gains?
one
Comic-
comic
Yeah.
queens or whatever it is. She's a big Electric.
Oh.
No, not her.
The Queen of
the
Comic Games.
yeah. Queen of Comic Games, yeah. She's really into Elektra too, so so that's what Unruly has in common with her.
I love women that want to kill me. What were you going to say, lady?
So I was just kind of browsing eBay, and this guy that I got something from, he had other stuff, and like he had a bunch of signature stuff, in particular a bunch of Bill S stuff, and I saw that Elektra #1 with the Bill S signature and remark, and it was like it was for a very good price, and I sent that to him, and I was like, oh my god, dude, you need to get that, and he was like, no, you need to get that, and like he got it for me, and he sent it to me, and I was like, yeah. So should I go get it?
That's up to you. Whatever you want to do.
I'll go get it.
That's something that like I would like to see framed right behind you.
I'll BRB.
Yeah, me too. That would be cool.
Let me go get my little. Yeah, hold on. I'll be back.
See, like I was telling everybody, this is an underrated first appearance.
Purgatory, right?
Yep, I knew you would know too.
Because I'm a nerd.
Yeah. Not only that, but it's a glow in the dark cover. But and Purgatory makes an appearance. So I'm like,
Oh, good question. How about you turn off the lights and show that to the camera? Let's see if the glow in the dark still works. Because most of my stuff does not. Like the Ghost
Let's
Rider
see.
#6.
I don't know. I'm not even sure if it still works. I'll yank all the lights off and see. Let's hope I don't
but
crash
take
into the
away
lab.
sometimes if it doesn't work right away, shine like a light on it, take it away, and then show.
That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna walk up to the light, the other light I use, and just hold it up to the light real good.
Yeah, Varangian says his store still has that one for cover price.
Yeah, I know.
I still think. Well, I don't know if he's talking about the Evil Ernie or the Corona. Yeah, there's plenty of books out there that spike and come right crashing back down, and I do not expect it. That's why you don't chase the books when they're in the top 10 on week 1 or even week 4. Wait a little while. That should always come back down. Oh, look, Corona. The first appearance is worth $20 this week. I'll pay $50 for that shit.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Give it a second.
Looks like he's smoking and everything.
It actually did work.
Yeah. It is glowing a little.
Yeah.
This thing. Let's see.
Well, it did work, but since the computer's so bright, it you can't tell.
Yeah, I actually think that back in the day that all the independent publishers, they were going to real printers, whereas Marvel just went, "Hey, just print this quick." Hey, Randall.
Yeah. Hey, Randall.
Hey, what's up?
We're showing the glow in the dark Evil Ernie off, and then Lady was showing the signature and remark.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
It's on you now. I gotta plug the lights
Go
back
ahead, Lady.
Oh,
in. So
I've got the Elektra Assassin. So that guy right there is the antagonist in the story, the bad guy, and it's signed by Bill Sienkiewicz, and it's just banging. And certificate of authenticity. So I'm super excited about this. I don't know where Jeff went, but I also
Jeff
had
going to look for another of his books, or Turn on the Lights, which apparently is in a room about all the way on the other side of the building.
I know.
Pre-
This
pre-
is obviously a reprint,
pretty much,
facsimile.
it's on the other side. Well, yeah, because the other I had to plug in both lights because if I don't plug in the other one, I'll look dark as hell.
He doesn't look as pretty.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
Yeah, and I picked up some more
Show us,
stuff today too. I picked up the Joe Jusko version of the one Javi gifted me when I first met him. So
Nice.
Awesome.
yeah,
Ooh, that's a good one.
yeah.
What
Yeah.
issue's that? 50?
Yep. Tomb of Dracula 50, Silver Surfer versus Dracula.
Almost looks like Dracula's playing a guitar almost. Almost.
Dracula's like morphing to a bat and saying, "I'm out this bitch."
Yeah. Well, since Rando came in, let's show you the German edition of Evil Ernie that I got from Vigilante.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, Varangian, you know how the Germans are with their quality. It's
Yeah.
usually the best.
Well, are there? Actually, that's a good question. For the cover, is it thicker than the American version, or is it about
Actually, no.
I think there's their cardstock.
Yeah, this one's cardstock almost.
Because we have a bunch of European variants at my LCS, and they are larger, and they have cardstock.
You could actually. I'll pull it out of the top
The
loader.
international or the British or the Spanish. versions.
I'll pull these guys out of top loaders, and you can see the difference.
Okay.
Yeah, you
Maybe
can see the
Varangian
difference.
saying most covers here are cardstock.
Yeah, you can see the difference. Like this is the bottom one is the English one. It's pretty thin, and then this is the German one. You can see the difference.
it looks more like a square now.
It's like
Yeah.
twice.
Yeah, triple the size.
At that point, I don't even think I would have used a staple. I would have tried doing that as a square bound, just as a
Yeah.
print.
But because the first one is pretty thin. It's like hardly anything. It's almost like maybe
It was only
it
like 23, 24 pages of actual story in the original one.
right.
It wasn't like
It's
an
not one.
oversized or anything edition.
Yeah, but the German edition is almost oversized.
Then that's my next question. What was the lag time coming out between the two?
Lag time. I'm not sure. I have to do the research on that one, but I'm not really sure.
I mean, like one comes out in like September of '93 or something.
Oh,
92.
93. These guys didn't come out until February of 98. That's the German one. German one was February of 98.
So the Germans did not know of a Lady Death or an Evil Ernie for 5 years.
Yeah. Ooh.
Shame. Nice.
I'm just
Got
throwing
some-
some swamp.
No, I
things.
know. You got some spooky covers.
Yeah. I have a few Swamp Thing specials. This is the Swamp Thing Halloween special. Monster Mayhem.
I haven't even made it into ladies box yet. The ladies box yet that she mailed me yet. That's all the books that I picked up this week. And Vigilantes A-OK. Haven't even got the ladies A-OK yet.
Nice. What issue's that?
12.
12.
Bernie Wrightson, right?
Nope.
No. He stopped at issue 10.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so who's this one?
Don't ask me.
Well, I would think. Oh, okay.
Oh boy, Circa 72. I don't know.
You're good. You're good. I
Number
was
10.
just curious.
Yeah, sorry. I'm just.
I mean, it doesn't look bad. It's just it's not Bernie Wrightson, and that was the problem for just about everybody.
Yeah.
All because he hated the colorist.
Number 8.
That sucks.
So you're not coloring it the way I asked you to. Fuck you guys. I'm out.
That was back then. Now they'll be all over Instagram and all over Facebook bitching at each other.
See, if you're Bernie Wrightson, it's okay. If you're Rob Liefeld, you get made fun of.
Yeah.
Shut up and draw.
They're still cool covers though. Yeah.
This one's Hialeah's favorite.
Yeah, it's still cool covers though.
Hell yeah, dude.
Mm-hmm.
And then this last one was a gift from Steven Spock.
We should be playing the theme song to the Swamp Thing animated series.
Man, if you don't want to get into crap with freaking YouTube, just playing anything.
So those are all my Swamp Things. My end goal is to put together the first 10 Swamp Things that Bernie Wrightson was on.
So pretty much Constantine's first appearance you're still missing, or is
Constantine's first appearance wasn't in 1 through 10 of the first. Constantine's first appearance was an Alan Moore's run, and it was issue 37.
Like I said, I get there. Sometimes I get the run a little mixed up.
Sorry, yeah, like you would be insulted. Sorry, I'm acting like you should know, like in the way that
I'm the Vampy expert. Like, all I know is Vampy. You guys know that.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
He's Vampy. We're everything else.
Yeah.
Well, there's a lot that I don't. I mean, I'm almost exclusively Marvel.
But that's not. Well,
this is rare. Some rare DC that you will see from me.
Yeah,
but your niche is also X-Men.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, last night, y'all. Oh my God, y'all.
Listen to this.
Last night, I got me a very fine Dazzler off the eBay.
Nice.
$60. I thought that was very fair. It's so sexy, and I needed it. It's a 130. So all I would need, and then I also got a 128, an issue 128. So now I just need the Kitty Pryde, the 129, and then I'll have issues 121 through 318 straight run.
Nice.
But I want to get issues 94 through 318 straight run. I do have issues 94, 96, 99, 98, 101, 102. I mean, I have a few interspersed between 94 and 121. It's just not a run. So once I hit my 129, I need to fill that gap. Boom. Sorry.
No, you're
so
good.
You say like you have 94, 96, 101. You have the harder keys, so some of the others should be a little easier, but they're not cheap.
95 and 100. 95 and 100 are going to be.
Do you ever check mycomicshop.com?
Sometimes. I've done.
I thought about like because one of my goals is to get every Action Comics and every Superman comic. Yeah. And so sometimes for fun, I will go on my comic shop and I will look to see what issues they do have.
Yes.
And be like, okay, which ones are out of my price range and which ones are in my price range. And you know, and I would just scroll until I get to a specific number, and I know, boom, that's where I can start and work my way up. and then occasionally get the random issues if I get a little extra money.
Yeah, that's so with certain sets, like I'm also collecting Defenders, but with my Swamp Things and my Defenders, I want to get decent copies for all of them. Oh, and my Black Panthers. Gotta have the nice Black Panthers. I've got most of the Jungle Action run. I just need a couple from that. And then I've got Black Panther 1 through 6 in like very nice shape, each one of those. So I need like what? Well, I also have a 15. So then that what is that? 7 through 14 I still need to get.
You plan to create your collection down the road?
Probably not. I grade with my heart and my emotions. I don't need some outer entity to grade for me. You know, I've been gifted slab stuff, and I love it. I treasure it. And like if I got something that was just absolutely beautiful by like a super talented artist, and it was just the cover is what made that book, I would probably consider about getting it. Like CGC'd.
There's one that you gifted me that I might just CGC in the box. Yeah. And you already know the cover.
64. And like, but some it's like, no, I want to be able to crack these back open. I'm not, I feel like I'm sealing away in a tomb.
That's the fun thing for collecting. Like I always think to myself, like, what if I completed my collection, what is the next level? Right? Yes. So the next level for me would be to basically have 2 sets of my collection. So I would have like once I have like everything collected, then I'd say, okay, I'm going to start another second round, and then what I would do is I would take one whole round and make it all graded, and then have one whole collection not graded.
That's fine.
That way I can be like, if I want to pull and read this book or I want to look through it, I have it, and then on top of it, I have a graded version of it.
You've got a whole reader run and an entire like slab run.
Yeah.
What would you say when you're finally finished with what you consider is your comic book collection? Most people just wind up going, well, I have everything I need. I have Amazing Spider-Man with Amazing Fantasy 15, one all the way through the last issue of today. Well, I have all that. Now what? Okay, Hulk. They go through another direction. What if you get all those? Well, now you have everything Silver Age, have everything Modern Age. Now they start working PCH. They get everything PCH, which I don't know how you can do that unless you're a goddamn millionaire. Then you go to horror comics, romance, or if you're like Steven Spock, reflection covers. I mean, there's always going to be like some avenue.
Yep. Oh, I agree. There is some avenue, but like there is like, so for example, like I have a bunch of Batman comics. I have a bunch of X-Men comic books. But at the end of the day, you know, like if someone said, listen, you need to condense your collection down to your absolute favorites, like what you can't live without, you know, like what your ultimate collection. Like if you had to get rid of your collection and you could only keep the ones that you want the most. And so the ones I would keep the most for me personally would be Superman because I'm a Superman fan, Green Lantern, Justice League, and then for Marvel it'd be Captain America and Spider-Man.
Yeah.
So like, you know, for me, like, yeah, I mean, and then not to mention like when you, like I said, when you upgrade to that level of your collection, like once you like have every issue of what you've collected, how can you add on to it? How can you evolve it? You know, and that's where grading comes in, right? And let's say I get every book graded, then the goal would be to have the highest grade versions collected. So like, you know, so if I had like an 8.5 Action Comics 12, you know I'd be like, I need to get 9.0 or higher.
Do you know what the next level after that is? The highest graded signed.
Mm-hmm.
Signed, yes.
The original art.
Mm-hmm.
Or collect the original art, absolutely. Yeah. Original art, that's probably one of the most expensive and toughest things to do is get original art.
Oh, shit, yeah.
Start getting in on the black market. Find out those people that have been stealing from the Jack Kirby collections that don't talk openly, that don't post on the internet, that only speak in quiet whispers. Hey, psst, what I got over here, You open up a portfolio and your eyes just light up. It looks like the suitcase from Pulp Fiction.
Man,
the next stage.
When it comes to original art, that's one of those things that it's almost impossible to collect every page of every issue and have it in your collection. It's like downright almost impossible. Like there might be like one or two guys out there that kind of already have that. And I'll tell you right now,
that's the objective. Do you really think that's the objective?
It depends on the person. Depends on the person.
I think your mind works in a very like organized, like these are how. So everybody's mind is structured in a different way, and so you see like the hierarchy of original art in terms of, well, what would one necessarily do? Obviously, you try to put a comic book together of all the original art. That's the next logical step. To where, like me, my next logical step would be, I have this artist now. I'm going to the next artist. You know, like everybody's got their own like list of.
Yeah, what's up, Professor Bill?
Somebody got in a trench coat on the street corner yet.
Yeah. Professor Bill's in the building.
Yo. I got some stuff right here. What you need? You need some Schomburg? You need some Kirby? Right here.
I got two son.
You have like a sidekick. You have an assistant right there. Like, hey, I have some wet wipes here to wipe your hands so you can touch the merchandise and look at it.
Here's a burner phone. You only call me when you got the cash, yo.
It's true though.
Well, since we went to Ybor City Comics today, I actually picked up some ash cans I've never seen before. I thought these were cool.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. I thought they were neat. Ash can. Oh, a manga version ash can. It was pretty.
How many? Because I haven't been there yet, but they pretty much just do back issues, right? They just do older comics.
Yeah. Older comics, back issues, and now they're helping people grade stuff. But that's on the down low.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I couldn't tell how many comics they have. How many do you think that they have? Like 20, 30,000?
Yeah, more than that, they do. They buy collections almost every so often, and then they have like a $10 page on Instagram, a $5 page on Instagram. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So they're set up on Instagram. So they basically sell online. They set up on Instagram.
No, sell online, and every once in a while they'll open up and sell, to the public pretty much, to the collectors in general. Yeah.
Yeah, because I know Scott from Readmore. I think he posted one time. I think he went there and he got a bunch of books from them.
Like, for my X-Men, I definitely, like, the run that I wanted to get, if I had, like, some shabby ones, I definitely would try and upgrade and get nicer ones. That's, like, for me. But, slabbing, I didn't really start considering it realistic. So I collected baseball cards and comic cards. And so I was familiar with cards getting graded, like this Michael Jordan card is getting, and it's a, 9.99 Gem Mint, whatever.
Right.
But I didn't realize the whole comic world was like that too. And
they didn't start grading until like early 2000s, right, Randall? Like early 2000s almost?
Yeah, like early 2000s.
They took over the comic book convention scene by storm in the early 2000s.
We need to like figure out the history of the emergence of the slabbing industry.
Well, right?
It's pretty straightforward. It's pretty simple.
Was it just like a natural progression of things? Like he
used to work for CBCS, so he should know.
I have a great question. Hold on. How about this? In week 1 through the first month, were there any arguments with collectors, big time, little people like us, arguing, hey, is anyone going to buy this? I mean, how did it come where people said, all right, I'll invest in this product so people can send stuff in? How does it work? Explain it to me. Were there people arguing, I'm not going to do this? Or was there such an uproar of people going, I want this. Please shut up and take my money. Really, I want to know that history.
Well,
that should be next week's topic. That should be next week's topic.
What makes it work is it wouldn't have worked back like in the 60s, 70s, and 80s. It wouldn't have worked because the internet didn't exist.
Well, and I don't think the industry was as big either.
No. I mean, there was so much more comic books back then than there are now. Because of the 90s.
So you think the industry is bigger then?
Yes.
They were selling millions of comic books back in the 80s, 70s, even the 90s. But because of the collapse in the 90s, once the collapse happened, once they started taking comic books out of grocery stores and it was only in limited comic book stores, the numbers have caved in. You know, so, like back in the day, you could sell 1 million copies of Superman. Now you're lucky if you sell 100,000 copies of Superman.
Here's so you're seeing lower copies, but that doesn't mean that the industry has not grown, because you have seen the advent of a cinematic universes be created, and that has more than compensated in profits. Not that that's necessarily to say that goes directly to Marvel and DC.
I love this right now
because they're owned by Disney. Well, Marvel is.
Well, the industry, so much has been added onto the industry in the past 20, 30 years, right? One, you have the rise and growth in online sales. You also have probably more publishers now than we had back then, even though they're not selling as many books now compared to back then. But just oddly enough, part of the reason we have more publishers, though, is because property rights, characters, books getting picked up to be turned into film and television, because that's where the real money's at. So that's why we're seeing like a growth in more publishers and growth in more, original characters, independent stories. That's the whole goal. The goal is not just to tell a good comic book story; it's to sell the book into a TV and film franchise. So that's one of the things changing into the other. The other thing that changed the industry, of course, also is grading. We now have 2 grading companies. We don't just have CGC anymore. We have CBCS, even though still some people will mention PGX, which is, I don't know how they're still around.
But they were the ones that were
they
around.
Don't even have a census.
They did the cards. I think CBCS does the cards too.
Yeah, because CBCS got bought by
got bought out by Beckett Media, which they do the cards.
Really?
Yeah. So Beckett Media basically owns CBCS now.
Yeah, I used to get Beckett monthly as a kid.
Oh yeah. I was with CBCS before they were bought out. I think it was like kind of almost right around the transition of when it happened. I left primarily because I didn't want to get fired. I was just like, better to leave on good terms than to be let go, because I'm not keeping up with their quota, their numbers of this is how many we have to have done or set up and stuff like that.
Before that, how many books did you have to grade a day though before they went to Beckett?
I'm trying to think here. I think they kind of wanted. This is how it's set up, right? You have your pre-graders, then you have your finalizers,
right?
And then it goes into slabs. So you basically have 2 types of people that are grading. I was in the first level of people grading. I would basically look through the book, type in the notes, and I would say, okay, cool. Here's the grade that I think it's in. The finalizer does a quick skim of it, and if they agree with it, then they basically put in the final grade of the book and say, okay, next. So essentially, you have 2 people looking at it. You have somebody who is either new or training or kind of somewhat experienced, and then you have someone who is more experienced, kind of giving the final say on the grade of the book. So I'd say on average they wanted probably a minimum of like 100 graded in a day.
Okay. I have a good question. Are all books the same? Do they consider all books the same? Meaning that if you have a quota that needs to be done in an hour or a day, say they give you a certain amount of books, are they all of modern? Are they various?
Oh, they're all modern. Yeah, you have your modern graders, and then you have the older books that go to the more experienced graders, and then you have your golden age, your $1 million books. Those go to the guys like Steve Borok, Wes Steffen. Those guys, they like one time Action Comics #1 came in, and West was right across from the table, and he knew I was a big Superman fan, so he was like, "Hey, Randall, yeah," he's like, "You want to see something cool? Come over here." I'm like, "Okay." I'll walk right over there.
Yeah, lady got something to say. Lady got something to say. Okay. Lady got something to say. Go ahead.
Were you telling your story? He was in the middle of a story, right?
No, he was just telling us how he got the hold of Action 1. That's all.
Well, you can finish it.
Yeah, I was asking him exactly what the caste system was, and now he's explaining that apparently people are giving, depending on your experience, the modern books to the new people, and depending on your experience, the most experienced apparently will get to touch an Action 1 and grade it.
Pretty much. No, none of the pre-graders get to touch an Action Comics #1. Just the head grader. Yeah, the head graders, which is like Wes Steffen, and essentially any book that's like worth over $5,000 or $10,000. Those are the guys that are going to be looking at those books.
Pretty much.
Those are like the most expensive ones. Steve Borak, because he's an expert. He used to work over at CGC. He gets a lot of the older books, and then Wes also gets a lot of the older books. Also, in fact, when what do you call it? If because they go through so many books, so sometimes they get a second opinion. So sometimes even Steve Borak will look at a book and he's just like, he's conflicted. He's like, I don't know if this is an 8.0 or an 8.5, or I don't know if this is a 3.5 or a 4.0. So he'll hand it off to Wes, and then Wes will look at it and he'll say, Wes, give me a grade. Tell me what you think this is. And then when Wes would say a grade, Steve's like, that's the grade. That's the grade I was thinking. All right, cool. And then they would, if they both saw eye to eye on the type of grade on the book, because they look at everything. It's amazing how many stains are sometimes on the interior of the front and back page. Like you won't see it on the cover, but the minute you open the page, you could see it right there. They look at everything. They can sometimes look at a book and they can know right away, oh, this has been restored. Someone's touched up on this, like someone colored this in with a marker or whatever to do away with the breaking
trying
color.
To restore this, or were they eating a sandwich over the book? Is that what they're trying to figure out?
No, there's no eating in the grading room, none whatsoever.
No, I mean from the stains on the book. Are they trying to determine whether or not someone was trying to repair the book? Because here's a good way to frame this. So we are familiar with the Angry Ex-Girlfriend edition of Amazing Spider-Man 14. Right? They call that restored because someone wrote all over it. It's not like they were trying to make the book better, but for some reason, instead of just putting simply writing on it and putting it universal, they set it at restored. I don't understand that.
I don't understand that either. I think they were just being polite or being nice.
Over it.
Yeah. Maybe because of the writing that's on it. Maybe because there's something else on the book that they refer to it as restored. Maybe.
I've heard the story about the Angry Ex-Girlfriend book before. I've heard of it.
I mean, Amazing Spider-Man 300. Obviously, you know what the cover looks like. You see the red, you see the black. A lot of those books had a bunch of spine. I forgot what the term. But like basically bends. Bends, spine, breaks color. Exactly. You see the black on the edge where the staples are at. So some of these guys
can go.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it bleeds
some
right
some
through.
of these guys, what they'll do is they'll color in the creases with the white and breaking color. They color it in. You can't, if they do a really good job, you can't tell from outside of the cover, but you can tell when you open up the book, because when you look at the spine opening up the book, you'll see that the whatever marker, whatever they use, bled through the cover, and you see the black markings on the book. So when we see that, we have to let the customer know, like, oh, hey, there was, there was some, restoration, there was some, coloring on the cover. So, people don't like to have the restoration on the slab. They don't want that. So we will inform them. Even like some of the older books, there was an older Superman book where Joe Shuster, there was a signature. And of course, back in the day when they signed books, they didn't sign them on the covers. They signed them on the first page of the book. So a lot of times, and the weird thing too is sometimes people will send in books and have no clue that there's a signature on the front page, like the first page. They have no clue. Like they're almost like giddy and excited. They're like, "Are you serious? There was a signature on the first page?" And we tell them, "Yeah. Would you like us to verify that signature? It's going to cost extra. And then so it's up to them if they want to do it or not. If not, just because it's on the first page, so like it's kind of very minimal when it comes to like most of grading. Most of grading is all front and back cover. That's most of grading. If there's any kind of tampering with the pages, the worst grade that you can get with the tampering of the pages is when they cut out the value stamp, like the old Marvel books, when they had the stamps in it and people were collecting the stamps and cut it out. Then it's missing a partial page, or so the book's incomplete basically. So that's the only time the pages will really affect I
have a good question.
The grade.
So back there, I have the first Zatanna, where I got it at a bit of a discount because somebody cut out a little, it wasn't even a stamp or anything. It was just, hey, I'm going to send something in. And then they thought better of it and went, maybe I shouldn't have done this, and just left it in there. No tape, no nothing. It's cut out, but it's still there. What kind of grade does that come about? How do you frame that?
That's a good one. Yeah. I'm trying to remember. It's been so long. And that's very rare. Very rare. Usually when they cut something out, it's out. It's gone. I think they would kind of just count it as if a page was torn. I think it would be the same as what they would do. Like if a page was torn, but the page is still all there, then they would note on there, page 23 or, third page, fifth page, seventh page torn. So in this case, they would just mark it in there like the page is still there, but it's cut.
It's
so then
I knew it would be qualified. I just kind of thought it was funny that somebody would do that, and I went, well, the price is so low, nobody's bidding on this. I've always wanted Zatanna. I always like the fishnets, and I wound up getting it. And I get it, and like, this is perfect. It looks like I could even like tape it back in there if I wanted to. Luckily, no one did. It's complete, but it's not. So it's a semantic sort of thing.
Yeah, see?
And that's another good question too. Like even if you did tape it, I wonder if they would consider that restoration. So
Dusty has a question for you.
Why does CGC not verify signatures for books that were not witnessed by a CGC rep? I had a book signed by Bob McCown at the con. CGC was there but didn't witness the signature. Well, if CGC didn't witness the signature, it's because either they didn't have a rep there to witness it, or you needed to go get a rep at their table and bring them so they could witness it. And then not to mention, like, once you get a witness there to witness the book right then and there, you have to submit the book to get it graded. If you don't, then the witness signature doesn't count. Like that's their whole setup. You can't have someone witness a signature, hold on to the book for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, hold on to the book for a month or two. They won't count it. It's one of those, like, if we're bringing a witness to you and you get it witnessed, you have to submit it to us now. If you don't submit it to us now, that witness signature doesn't count.
Yeah, because for all they know, you could have taken that book, had somebody else do it so they could sign something else in to get that verified, and here you go again.
Oh, exactly. Yeah, CGC just does that to. Unfortunately, scammers always kind of they always ruin a good thing. So like CGC and both CBC, yes, they have to take precautions. They have to get really strict about authentication, because once it's been corrupted, then people start doubting it. And when people start doubting it, when you don't have that level of, when you don't have that guarantee, and people question it, then they question the value. And when they question the value, then they're like, what's the point? What's the point of me getting this, witnessed, signatured, signed, sending it to CGC? What's the point? The signature might be fake.
And they didn't witness it. I really think it's a matter of time before something happens.
Didn't want to listen to him.
Right.
That's because CGC just, they were either being jerks or being strict. Because that's the thing. It's like, even though Bob will say, hey, I saw it.
This was me.
CGC's like,
I did it.
They're like, oh, sorry. You need to have someone there witness it. I even took a picture with them after the book. Why not take the artist? Well, it's why not? That would be nice. It's up to whoever's working the event. If they say no, sometimes they get, like very rarely do they let it slide. So don't feel bad. You're not the only one. I'm pretty sure that they've told other people no, many other people. People who they normally work with, like they normally, like if you're a regular customer and they've seen that you've given them, thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars, they might let it slide.
Mm-hmm.
If you're like a one-time customer, nope, sorry. We have to stick to the rules.
They're going to be draconian on your ass.
Yeah.
Depends on how they woke up that morning or how their day went right up until then.
It's the same thing with like taxes. Like with super rich people, they get all kinds of like, loopholes where they don't have to pay as much. But like with the like little people, they will nickel and dime you and they will fucking arrest your ass, dude. I mean, I don't really, they won't arrest you, but I just know like it's just funny. I mean, you spend more money or the more money you have, the more you can get away with. But that's completely tangential. Sorry.
No, you're good.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's one of those, you live and you learn. You go through the experience.
Oh, I was saying, so this is what I think. Here, I have a hypothesis.
Okay.
So, with the collapse of the comic industry
in the 90s,
okay, and then you see in the early 2000s the blossoming of these grading corporations, and do you think maybe because it's like, hey, we're seeing these early movies come out, like X-Men or whatever came out in the early 2000s, but stuff started coming out, and people were getting their comics or wanting to get the comics that they loved, and there wasn't a final judge, and they were saying, well, I think this is worth this, you think it's worth that or something, but...
Well, grading really started all with Overstreet. And Overstreet's been around since the late 70s, early 80s. So Overstreet is what really started the grading.
So
and
it's a guide. It's not like it's a guide. It's more
right.
It's more it's more loosey goosey. I feel like, but you're right. Overstreet was the OG. But
I mean, Overstreet really should have been. I don't know. They should have worked out a deal with CGC. Like even to this day, I don't even think Overstreet has like an online, like you can still buy the graded book, right? Every year they come out with a new book and they tell you what books have gone up, what books have dropped in prices, and they don't match with eBay sales. They don't have an online platform. The only people that kind of use Overstreet are sort of like the old school collectors. They get those Overstreet price guide books, they take them with them to conventions. So when someone says, hey, this book, I'd love to get this book, the Overstreet says it's $6, or it's $8.
It's this.
Yeah.
Because there's this golden age that I remember.
That's the crazy thing about like grading and speculation, because Overstreet will say, hey, this book is worth $8. Perfect example is Static Shock or Static. They announce a movie, right? All of a sudden the book's super hot. It's going up in price. If I pulled out an Overstreet price guide book right now and I said, hey, it says on here that Static is selling for $8, somebody's going to pull out their smartphone and says, yeah, well, this book is selling for $30 on eBay. Mm-hmm. So it's $30. Like I'm not going to go buy the Overstreet price guide book. I'm going to go buy what's selling. So now you have a site called DPA,
or I'll go you one 30. Go you one further. They'll go to Key Collector app and they'll say, hey, on here it says 65 for Static.
So the thing about the numbers I was throwing out, I was making those numbers up. I didn't know what they were going for. I haven't been keeping up. I was just using it as an example.
I said a year ago that $8 would have been generous.
Yeah.
Oh, sure. Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Because I mean, there was nothing.
You would
going
find
on
them in
the side.
dollar bins sometimes
Exactly.
too, man. You would, yeah. So it's
That,
like,
and the weird thing too is like you'll have a property announced for a TV show, and then versus being announced as a movie. And if it's announced as a movie, it blows up. It's huge. You announce a TV show, it's worth an extra $5 or $10 more now because it's doing a TV show versus an extra $20, $30, $40
any of
because
the
they're doing a movie.
CW stuff. When that stuff was announced, nothing was quite blowing up. Like even Luke Fox. Luke Fox was mostly because they said, "Hey, this might attribute to another comic book." But Luke Fox being part of Batwoman might have made it $20, even though it was super low print from what is it? Batwing number 1920.
Yeah.
Hey, we're making it a movie now. Oh, that's a whole other story. So TV, nothing. Movies, whole different story.
And it's mostly because they know that movies are more wide released and more.
They're international.
Yeah, it's more international. It's big numbers. It's the speculating game.
It's in the billions.
I think with the right amount of people and the right amount of money, you can most definitely influence the market. That's what I see Comic Tom and Key Collector Comics app doing. I think they're trying to influence and shift the market their way. They tell you what's a hot book. Like, listen to us. We know what's hot. Pick this up. And all of a sudden, it's a hot book. All of a sudden, you have dozens and dozens of people all at the same time looking for that book, buying for that book, and it's like controlling the stock market almost.
It's no different than Wizard.
Huh?
It's no different than Wizard. I just always have to call into question, does a person own a comic book shop? How do they benefit? Why do they benefit? Like when you heard War of the Gods #1, all of a sudden it spikes because they heard maybe there's a character that's going to be used in a movie. Oops, that was an error in speculation. Goes to $30, comes right crashing back down to $1 just because some asshole like one of us, any one of us four, goes on the internet, says something, a bunch of people enough watch it and go, oh my God, I've got to get that.
Yeah.
But it's not just that, though, because, I mean, the brilliant thing about eBay is that you can go on eBay, you can click on sold and listed items, and you can see what that book is selling for, So unless you see the number that matches up with what people are saying, then you're like, okay, which, what really sucks is, like, I mean, I really wish that the comic sellers would shift away from eBay and like literally just like, I know there's like one or two businesses and companies that have attempted to do it where it's like, hey, don't sell your books on eBay, come to our site, sell your books on our site, and we'll charge you less than greed drives the market. Now there ain't no way Static should be a $36, but just like Justice League Volume 4 or 5 first appearance is a $25. Yeah.
To be fair, Hulk 181 is not a rare book. It's just because everybody wants it. It's a popular character. If you make somebody popular enough, it doesn't matter what the print run is. It's going to be expensive. And I loved Static Shock all the way back from the 90s. But yeah, do I agree that it should be $65? Hell no. I still think it's like a $2 book. But we're still in the mind frame that we're still living in the 90s, or we're still living around the time these came out, or where we could find them in dollar boxes. And now it's shifting to the point that there's new people going, oh, look what I found, until you start going back to those same boxes. They're not there anymore. Remember a time when you could go and find old runs of Moon Knight for like pennies, and now each individual issue is at least $5, if not 20 or 30 for some of them.
Well, I mean,
that's just now.
Yeah, the cool thing is, like, I think for the longest time, especially everyone that was collecting books from the 80s and 90s, they were thinking, like, how come this book hasn't gone up in value? It's been 10 years. 10 years is a long time. This book should be worth, like, $10, $20 now, And so we're in the 2020s now where a lot of these books are now finally getting up to that price now. And so now, like... we were so used 10 years ago. We were so used to finding these books like in the dollar bin, and so now we're mad that they're not in the dollar bin now. Now they're actually of value, and it's like, why did I waste these last 10 years? I should have been buying up all these books that I didn't think were worth anything, and now they're worth something, So
and it can
It's the
always
market,
come
man.
back down. But Randall, you're a Superman fan, so you buy a lot of these, so you kind of know what this is like. A lot of those books from like the early 60s, late 50s, unless it's a first appearance, and shit, some of them that are first appearances, like the first appearance of Rudy, the Parasite, you can still get that in pretty higher grade for under $100. And you try and find the first appearance of Poison Ivy, who's in the media, and you're going to pay at least $1,000 for like a higher mid-grade copy that still has the poster. So I think it's mostly that it has to be in front of people's faces, because if they don't see it, they don't remember. And we all remember Parasite being in the Superman cartoon, but that was almost 20, 30 years ago. So unless something is in living blood in front of people's screens, and hell, even Miles Morales didn't hit as large as it was until, hey, video game. And by the way, we're kind of integrating every single movie that Marvel has ever made into one universe, saying there's many universes. That's why we're going to put Andrew Garfield and Tom Holland and all of them into the next Spider-Man movie. Because, go ahead, lady.
Wonder if they're going to integrate Werewolf by Night.
If he appears in the Blade movie or Blade TV series.
Yeah. So this is I was told I had some like Halloweeny scary books, and this is like one of the few books that it's double signed by Roy Thomas and Jerry Conway, and I just treasure it. Sorry, Rob.
No, good.
No, you're good. We go off on tangents. You know how the show goes.
I got a couple books too. Because over the Friday, I went to go put 3 books, just 3. Ooh, that's good.
Show us.
Okay, so one of them is a sister copy of another book. But so I'm very specific about what I want now. I'm not going to try and pick up things just because, hey, that was a top 10 book one week. It's like, no, I'm all about finishing my runs and not just because, hey, it's the new issue #1. Even though I kind of fall off on New Wednesday. Hey, it's only $3.99 this week, right? Eventually, you run out of room. I'd rather have stuff like this.
Yeah.
Planet Comics #1,
nice.
Dave Stevens. I've been wanting this forever. Now I just got to find a copy of Shovel Noir #1 because I had that once too, and that was definitely a book that little Rob did not know that was going to become a big boy book. Oh, not big boy. All right, so this I already had, so I wanted the sister book, so I got it.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I love these black covers, and better than that, of this era, when you take this out and you feel it and you're looking at it, it almost feels like a sheepskin. It feels like it's not even paper. It feels like it's, I don't know, it's like leather almost. It looks better. You don't have paper like that today. And then I got Mr. Miracle
actually,
1.
I think they do still have paper like that, but they just choose not to, like, the glossy paper is just a more preferred choice nowadays.
I'd rather have something that's like a matte cardboard that is harder to ruin than something that's just the flimsy paper. Otherwise, I got a full run of Mr. Miracle 1 through 25. I got that from Johnny Boy on Instagram. And the last thing that I got, this is the big one. Hey, it's Halloween. Mephisto.
Nice.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's a good copy too, it looks like.
Oh, yeah. Got this from my garage sale guy that I went out from a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
For $2. Just kidding.
Yeah. $2. No, I'm kidding. The only problem with it's just this little damage right there.
Ah, okay. Yep. I picked up the Mike Mayhew Vampy today.
Nice.
Almost looks like a photograph.
Yeah. And then Jay Lee, actually the good Jay Lee art.
Very nice.
Ooh.
Yeah. And then now we're getting into ladies box. Ladies AOK box. Finally.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah. Lady AOK me this. I was missing this. Now I got all the issues.
Nice.
Very cool.
The Harris. And then I got a Vengeance of Emperor 5. I always like this cover. Then she got me Dragon Slayer, I think, right?
Yeah, Dragon Slayer.
Yeah. Thought this was kind of cool too. Then I have a Vampy sitting on top, but the Conan's probably sitting on the bottom of the pile.
Got it.
Yeah, Vampy 29. Vampy, her favorite, Vampy 31, Frank Frazetta cover.
Love it.
Yeah, and Frazetta did 2 of these. There's 2 paintings of this cover here. So the history behind it is that Jim Warren really liked the movie poster he did, so he did a cover for him, did another painting for him. So there's 2 paintings floating around. There's a movie poster. I need to find out what the movie poster is, and then I'll let you guys know.
Sweet.
But yeah, pretty much there's a movie poster floating around that's the sister piece to this one.
Nice.
Yeah. So that issue 54.
That's a painting.
Yeah. But they used the science fiction. Ingrid used the science fiction. Back in the 60s or 70s, there was a science fiction B horror movie, Scream Queen type lady that he would always use for the paintings. So this was one of them. And then this one, another Ingrid cover, 47, and he.
Oh, Brangen has it.
Yeah.
Brangen has the title.
Ooh. That's the title.
I will not even attempt to pronounce that.
Which one?
The one on the Villa del Foresta Berlin.
Yeah. And then this one is a German expressionism cover. Originally, he used the German expressionism artist as an idea, but he just added a Vampy and added a skull to the painting.
Nice.
Mm-hmm. Yep. This one is the romance cover, issue 59. That I'm gonna be probably looking for another issue. The AOK Boat, because Boat's wife loves like romance covers.
Oh, okay, got it.
Yeah. So that. And then TikTok doesn't like this.
TikTok?
Yeah, because I put some I put like 2 videos up on TikTok about showing the inside of the art and whatever. They took it down.
Yeah,
TikTok
because that's such a hot beauty buck.
Yep, they took it down. And yep, and then the Conan is right in the middle of the whole pile.
Nice.
Oh yeah, you wanted me to look up the year, didn't you, lady?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't have
Give me a
to
sec. No, give me a second. Let me grab some gloves because since it's an older book.
All right.
And sealed from the bottom.
Yeah. The date's on the bottom? I don't think so, right?
No, it's sealed from the bottom instead of from the top.
Oh yeah.
My LCS does that with every comic.
Why?
I don't know, but it makes me crazy.
Yeah, you're not the only one. I'm like, oh, okay. That's cool. But give me a second. Let me grab some gloves. So Mr. White Gloves can be proud of me for using gloves.
Let's splash in here. As he wanders away to an empty screen.
Maybe it's harder to steal that way. I don't know. I know recently they had to start keeping their original ASM run behind the counter because people were stealing them. I was like, what?
Well, how do you steal that? You shove it down your pants and
Well,
ruin
fuck
them?
if I know. I wouldn't be stealing ASM either. Plus, their X-Men stuff isn't good either. Sorry. I don't mean, it's just like, what the fuck? Why are you stealing Spider-Man's?
Yeah, it's
All right,
somebody's business.
Yeah, gloves are on. So
Yeah, you never mess with another person's business.
yeah, pretty much it's pretty funny. It's painter's tape. It's not like some shops use. Like some shops don't even use painter's tape.
It's not painter's tape.
It's like Scotch tape almost.
Yeah.
In here. Yeah.
It's like tape I use to tape boxes.
Yeah, yeah.
Brandon is saying that it should be 1984. The year.
Yeah, I'm trying
Yeah,
to
Ranyan's
get
right.
to it.
Stealing will not be good for the grade.
Yeah.
Savages.
Yeah.
Bastards.
I might have to get a new bag for it though, because the way the tape's sitting on the bag is not a good. It's actually merged with the it's actually merged with the bag.
Yeah, after I get every book, I don't care how well it's bagged or if it's on Mylar,
Yeah.
I rebag everything.
No, I normally rebag it. It's just the one on the I ran out of magazine bags.
I know the feeling.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll end up putting it in another bag. So, yeah, let me just get at least try to get to the book. Make sure nothing's just.
Yeah, you got to get those Vampies and some Mylar.
That's interesting. I got it. Got it.
It's like he's delivering a fucking baby.
Yeah. I had to bust the bag. Oh, look at that. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. Solid. Look at the black.
Yeah. It's in really good shape.
Flat.
Yeah. And what did Thurston say it should be?
84?
84.
84. Hold on. I looked at the cover page. It didn't even
Show
have
us some of the inside.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Still really nice. I'm surprised.
Dino De Laurentiis presents Conan the
The
Barbarian.
art's still really good in here. Oh, yeah, it is. The date's right here on the other side of here. It's on this side. Yeah, Thursday. Yeah, he was right.
It's funny. I just saw a video of Schwarzenegger being interviewed about the first Terminator film.
Yeah, 84. December of 84. Volume 1, number 35. Yeah, 1980. December 1984.
Very cool.
Mm-hmm.
What were you saying, Randall?
And dude, the arts in here is really good. The pages are still really nice. Look at that.
Wonder who illustrated that.
The art.
Yeah.
Gene Colan?
The art is by. Ooh.
Doug Monich?
Right here. I'll show you guys the page so you guys can.
Oh, John Buscema.
Yeah.
That's very cool.
Yeah. I'm surprised how nice the color is. The color in here still is.
It's Comic Book University. I think it's an adaptation of the
Yeah.
movie, so I don't know if it's necessarily an issue or a one shot.
Yeah, this is like an issue 36 of a Marvel graphic novel.
Yeah.
Is that right?
The Marvel movie special. Yeah.
Movie special.
I'm putting it back in the bag.
Yeah, don't destroy it just because you want to show people on the YouTubes.
Yeah. This back in the bag. I'll fix it. I'll grab another magazine bag for it.
Yeah, just because you want to do it on camera. I've made the mistakes of trying to put things back on camera as I'm talking to people, and I've bent books. Plural.
Yeah, so the Dragon Slayer is actually got a number in that Marvel movie special run. So it's like that Conan, it was part of the same run that the Dragon Slayer was part, because they were both movies, and Marvel does these Marvel movie special magazines.
Oh yeah, and Call the Conqueror and Sheena. Jesus, Sheena. That was the first movie I think I ever saw with nudity when I was a little kid going, oh my God, Mom, cover your eyes. It's like, how is this PG?
What was the actress's name? She was on one of the Bond
Tanya
girls.
Roberts. In fact,
Tanya
I have
Roberts.
a quick story about Tanya Roberts because she was appearing in that 70s show. So back then I was trying to put out my first comic book, and I was at MegaCon in Orlando, and my friend, her mother was dating the publisher of Cracked magazine. So I was hanging out with her. They got me a table there to sell this stuff. We go up to the Tanya Roberts table, and I hear my friend's brother go, she looks She looks like an adult film star actress. And then you just see her as she's signing a book as she looks up and she like looks right at me. And that's when I just turn around and walk right away.
She thought you were the one that said it.
Nope, not me. Sorry. Bye. I'm out.
Yeah. Now I remember her from the movie Beastmaster.
Yeah. And what was that one? Deathstalker.
Not familiar with that
1 and 2.
Dudes, I'm gonna have to bounce. I'm getting tired, and I have to do the work thing tomorrow.
Oh,
See you later, lady. I know you were jumping on for a little bit. See you later, lady.
Yeah, I had fun.
Yeah, I had technical difficulties earlier. That's why I popped off. That's why it popped me off. Yeah.
Take care, guys.
How she feels to have a family case in the morning. Fun.
See you later. Well, I'm calling it now, anyways. See you later.
And she's gone.
Yeah, I'm gonna call it now anyway. So.